Hey everybody, it's Brooke. I hope you are having an absolutely fabulous day. I am here to do a shop share slash craft with me. Yes, it's a 2-for-1. And this is a long overdue. My fabulous friend Christina at 3G Creations 1 brought with her to the roadshow these fabulous tassel kits for us to make. And I thought it was so great that I asked her to put some in her shop so that you guys could have some too. And yes, it's been like 3 months. Okay, 2 months. And I'm just doing it now. I'm sorry, Christina. You know, the move, all that, my standard excuse. But at any rate, Christina's shop will be linked down below. And I absolutely recommend you run over and grab one of these because I can't believe how much stuff you get. I had pulled out my lace and my charms and my beads, thinking that, in order to make it this full and delicious, this is one that Christina made, and I, of course, had to take as a prototype. Yeah, that's what I said, because look at it. Look how beautiful it is. I wanted it for my own journal. So this was one that Christina made, and then this was the kit that she provided for me to make. So yeah, look at this. I thought to make it this lush and delicious, I would have to add some of my own stuff. And then I unpacked the kit, and I was mistaken. All I needed to pull out were 2 flat nose pliers to do the jump rings. Everything else is in the kit. I have to tell you, I'm not that smart. There is a bulldog clip attached to the keyring, and I'm not sure what it's for, but there's one in the kit. So if you guys are smarter than I am, you'll know what that's for. When I put these on my journals, I just put one of the Tim Holtz rings oh my gosh, yes, I've forgotten my words. You know what I mean. One of those little Tim Holtz things. I'm sure it has a fancy name. Hold up. I'm going to get one. Here I go. I actually think I know where they are. Maybe. Well, this is exciting for you, isn't it? Yeah, I've got everything in the whole world. Here we go. A spine ring. That's what I was trying for. If you haven't all wandered off in boredom, these are my Tim Holtz spine rings. So it's one of these little dealios. And I put those in the spine of my journal when I'm making it. And then I just put the key ring through the jump ring that's on here. So that's how I do it. And so I'm not figuring out what the bulldog clip is for. But please tell me in the comments below, because I'm curious. And Christina is very smart, so I'm sure it has a fabulous use. At any rate, there is one in the kit as well. So this is what we're going to be making. And I think we should just get right to it. Don't you? Okay, I'll put this here to show me how to do it. And first of all, we'll look at this bundle of fibers. It came with, first of all, it had this adorable little ticket on it, which I loved. And it came with all these different beautiful threads and the jute twine to wrap up the top and secure it. There is the book ring to put it all on, jump rings to attach your charms, the piece of chain to put the charms on, beautiful, beautiful glass and plastic beads, charms, a key, everything in the whole world that you need for this, and this beautiful bunch of fibers. So let's get to it. I love this. This feels like maybe a chambray shirt that Christina tore up into these beautiful strips, but the color is absolutely stunning. And I love that there's so many different fibers. I like my tassels to be big and fat and crazy and have all different things in them, and Christina has knocked it out of the park. And I happen to know in her shop you can choose the colors that you want. So I'm just layering these up in my hand as a person does. Oh, let's play find the camera. And picking them out, and I'll kind of fluff them up after we get them all laid out in my hand. I'm trying to make them be even on either side. But that is not a big deal because they're all going to get a haircut to make them different lengths anyway. Ooh, look at this beautiful teal lace. and some really delicate, fluffy white lace. And another piece of that, which I like very much. I really like that there are laces and trims and ribbons and even some pom-poms, just all kinds of different textures and colors. I love that. I like this ribbon a lot. Measuring tape. That's a cool one. Then I'm going to use the piece that was tied around the whole bundle because I love it. I don't think I'll use both. I'll save this for another project. And then, oh, look at this. Yummy, sparkly ribbon with polka dots. All right. Everything's fighting. I am going to include some of these threads as well. And I'm looking at Christina's. Yep, she included the threads in here. They're the thinner ones, again, add a great texture, but they're also super for putting smaller hold beads onto. I like the brown one. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll put all three in. What the heck? Let's live a little. All right, so I'm going to save the blue one to wrap around the top along with the twine. Oh, and I took my hand out. Yep, haven't made a video in a while. Sorry, guys. So checking to make sure that we don't have any guys that are going to be too short. And we'll take our little book ring and put those in there, lay them in the book ring and close it. There we go. I should probably put on my closer up glasses for this. And I'm just kind of turning things and checking to see how it looks. Checking on the ends. The pieces of string she gave me are really long. So let's move this stuff out of the way. I'll lay it down. Whoa, no! Escaped bead. Oh, dear. It escaped and went under my desk. Shoot. I'll have to find it later. All right. So now you can have a better idea of what's going on. Now, again, the thread pieces are really long, so I'm going to, rather than waste them, I'm going to pull this, and you can see where the other end is. Just ran away. There it is. So I'm going to I'm going to give this a haircut prior to doing the tying. And I will save that piece for a different project as well. Do the same with the brown, because she was very generous with those, and I love this. It's not really embroidery floss. Pardon me. Pearl cotton, maybe that's what it is. Okay, so those guys got a little bit of a haircut. And I'm liking it. I'm liking it. A lot of times I will go through and rearrange my fibers after I bunch them up, but I'm kind of loving the way this came out on the first go around. So get them up in there and get them snugged. Oh, we need to put our chain in. Our ABC ribbon does not want to lay the right way. There we go. Okay. Now, there's our piece of chain. I pushed all the charms over so I wouldn't be flinging them. Usually when I'm working with beads and charms, I'll put face cloth down. The terry cloth helps to keep the beads from escaping and rolling around. And I just didn't think about grabbing it. So I am going to take one of the bigger jump rings and attach the chain right to our book ring. Yep, should have put on the closer glasses. There we go. I saw someone the other day making tassels or something with chain, and I don't know if I've said this before, but I watched them, and they took the two pliers and pulled the jump ring apart this way. Generally speaking, that's not a great idea because you weaken the metal of the jump ring, and you can't ever really get it aligned again. So what you want to do is twist them apart and then twist them back together rather than pulling them in opposite directions. So that's nice and snug in there, and so our chain is all ready to go. And that way the chain will get caught in the knot that we're going to tie around it. to make sure it stays nice and secure. There it is. Got everybody pulled down and in place. So I think what I'm going to do is start with the blue string because we're going to be able to get a tighter wrap with this. Christina, if I've gone terribly off the rails and this isn't how you intended to have it made, well, you just talk to me, girl. You just tell me. This is hard to do while holding it so you can see it. A lot of times at this point, I will take it to my sewing machine and run a couple stitches, but because this one is so fat and the chain is in there, obviously that is not going to be that great an idea. So I'm just going to get this string up in here with hopefully not too much more fussing and mussing. And I'm going to tie one knot and then we'll pull everything down and make sure it's tight before we really knot it up some more. I love making tassels and I love how they look on my books. I never feel like a journal is done until it's got a big, waggly, clunky tassel. Alright, so we've got those pretty tight, pretty good. As usual, making things look so much harder than they are. Alright, so let's see, let's try it this way. I am going to hold it this way and then wrap, wrap, wrap. And I'm pulling it tight to make sure everybody's getting caught in there. And then I will tie another knot. Why does everything get harder when you turn the camera on? I think it's probably just me. Alright, so I'm pulling it not so hard that I break the string, although if it broke, it really wouldn't be the end of the world. And I'm going to put a couple knots in there. And I think what we can do is then leave the tails of the beautiful blue floss hanging down in the tassel as well, so that way we get that color. Tie another one, and at this point I usually put some glue on the knot. I mean, I've quadruple knotted it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but what the heck. Let's get out the old Fabri-Tac. It's not a craft project until you've used Fabri-Tac. Oh, that one's not loose. I was thinking there was something loose, but it's the little loops on the fiber. Looks like we got that in there good and tight. So I'll just put a little bit of glue. That wasn't really a little bit, but okay. I'll put a lot of glue. You really don't have to put on that much. Cap up our Fabri-Tac. And then looking at Christina's, she did a really nice wrapping job with the twine, so I think... Oh, it's baker's twine. I didn't realize it was two tones. It looks awesome. So we will emulate that because I love how the prototype I had to have. I love how that one looks. So, how did she get it wrapped that neatly? Oh, Christina, a woman of mystery. Alright, so there's one knot, which is also caught in the glue, so that's terrific. Little extra security. I'm going to wrap this one, and I'm going to wrap this one the other way, just to try to get it to be fatter. There we go. Oh, of course, then they're going the opposite directions for making the bow. Smart, Brooke. All right. Well, we'll just stop that nonsense. I got it going the right way now. It's real time, people. Real life. I'll wrap this one around a couple times, making sure I'm getting the chain caught in there too. So we've got some good going on the chain. I did it again. Oh, for Pete's sake, why didn't anyone speak up? All right. Then just rearranging the dangly parts to make sure that I'm not catching them in this part. I don't want them to get tangled up. All right. There we go. Get a nice tight knot in this one. This twine has a mind of its own. I'm not kidding. And get that nice and tight. Oh, look at that, you guys. Loving it. I think I'll do a double knot on this one as well. And Christina put a beautiful bow, so I'm going to do that because, again, love how that one looks. Usually I leave these to be part of the dangle too, but I love how the bow looks, so that's what we're going to do. And then we'll give that a little haircut. Straighten out our bow. Don't want it to be too loopy. There we go. Perfect. Tighten it up again. Love it. I think when I'm all done, I'll put a dot of glue on that knot that we just made as well. I don't want to do it now because you know I'm going to end up with glue everywhere. But look at that. Oh, look at that. I mean, we're done pretty much. All that's left at this point is to take all the delicious beads and charms and keys and thread them onto our tassel. So let's do a couple of those. I'm sure you guys all know how to do that. And all that I added from, well, nothing material. All I needed were some scissors and 2 pairs of needle nose for the jump rings. Everything else was in this kit. So I think this is fabulous. Let's just pick. I want to put some of these. I think these are plastic, but they look like glass. They're gorgeous. So we'll just stuff that in there. Get my pokey tool. All right, you need your pokey tool. Well, you guys might not need your pokey tool. I don't have the patience to try to feed it through. Oh, there it is. Fine. There we go. Didn't even need it. We'll put a big fat knot down here to hold our bead. And you could absolutely add some of your own stuff, but you don't need to. That's not going to be big enough. Double knot. Always start with a double knot. And this is one of, well, I love making tassels. I love everything about making tassels, but I do love figuring out where I want all my dangly beads to go. So there was one. Again, you get there's a little pearl, and I know all the kits are different, but they're all these different colors and textures, which I think is fabulous. Now let's pull out our chain, wherever, oh, there it is. Chain's hiding in there. And we can go ahead and, I think I want the key on the bottom. So Christina used some of the bulb pins instead of jump rings, so I think I'm going to try that because I like how that looks. I think I want collections on the bottom. Is this Tim Holtz, you guys? Somebody tell me. I haven't seen this one. But this is definitely a collection of yummy bits, so appropriate. And that, using the bulb pin gives it a little more length as well. So that'll fall really far down in the tassel, and I love that. And why don't we do one of the charms? Let's see. Ooh, I love this one. This is cool. It's a butterfly with a little porcelain or resin rose on it. It's got its little twisty thing on it. Let me grab my cutters. I have those nearby. Don't want to cut the jump ring because this one actually has a jump ring on it. Just get the bits off. I've never seen this. It's really pretty. Alright, so there's that. And then find the opening in the jump ring. Again, wish I had my close-up glasses on, but there it is. I found it, the little rascal. twist that open. I'll put it just a little above where we just put the collector. Hardest part of this whole project is seeing it well enough to get it on the chain. And that's just for me. But I'm going to go ahead and... Oops. Well, she says that. Trying to hold it so you guys can see it. I can't. There we go. Just twist that jump ring back. Make sure it's good and closed, and it is. Put those aside. And I can keep messing with this for hours. Just adding more charms and beads and putting some knots in. And then at the very end, when I've got everything tied in, I'll hold it up to whatever book I'm going to put it in and decide how long I want it to be and cut it at different lengths. I prefer all the pieces being different lengths. I think it makes it look fluffier, but that's totally a personal call. You can cut it straight across so they're all the same length. There's plenty of fiber here for you to decide, you know, what length and how you want to cut it. So that is I mean, you could stop right here. It's gorgeous just the way it is, and we did that in, what, like 10 minutes? So yeah, that is a full and beautiful tassel that I'm going to keep playing with. And again, I will link darling Christina at 3G Creations down below. Go grab one of these tassel kits before they all sell out, because they are a fabulous value. And I will see you guys again soon. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.